great game to come to, I think, John.
Yes, that's right, and I'm looking forward to it. I know AC Milan on top of the league, but for entertainment and excitement, these are the two teams to watch. I mean, you've got Sampdoria scoring all these goals now with some class individual players and our own David Platt, and then you've got Parma who are playing some lovely technical football with that terrific win against AC Milan a fortnight ago in the Super Cup. So I'm really looking forward to it.
OK, well, let's hope that both sides are in form this afternoon. We'll have our commentators Peter Brackley and Joe Jordan coming along shortly. Right now, though, it's time to go across to Kenneth Wolstenholme.
The Ennio Tardini Stadium today stages a game between two of Serie A's most attractive sides, clubs who still both fancy their chances of overhauling mighty Milan and claiming Lo Scudetto. And it comes just 5 days after a magnificent dress rehearsal. Two superbly matched teams clashing midweek in the first leg of the Coppa Italia semi-final. Sampdoria drew first blood here, eventually gaining a narrow 2-1 lead. But only after Parma had gone ahead through Faustino Asprilla. Attilio Lombardo got the equaliser just after half-time. And it was David Platt who scored a superb winner to settle a superb match, one that has whetted the appetite for today's meeting. Today, though, it's Parma who have home advantage, and as the table shows, they must make it pay if their title ambitions are to continue. Only 1 point and 1 place separate the teams as they go into the final third of the season. Parma have already proved that they can live with the best, following up their European Cup Winners' Cup success last season by beating Milan at the San Siro just 10 days ago. The lifting of the European Super Cup, just another amazing chapter in the life of a club which only achieved promotion to Serie A for the first time in 1990. There have been a few minor hiccups this season, like the 1-0 home defeat against struggling Udinese just into the new year. But Nevio Scala's boys are unbeaten since then in the league, following up this draw at Lecce with 3 impressive wins. A Di Chiara special early on put them on the way to a 2-0 victory over Lazio. A double strike from Gianfranco Zola helped crush Genoa 4-0 at the Luigi Ferrari Stadium. Then last weekend, a goal of the month contender from defender Luigi Apolloni, his first ever goal in Serie A. And a debatable one from Zola. His 11th strike of the season were enough to gain a hard-earned 2-1 win at Torino. Sampdoria have also found goals easy to come by in recent weeks, 9 in the last 2 matches, hoping to make them Serie A's top scorers with 44. That's an average of 2 every game. A fortnight ago, even veteran defender Pietro Vierchowod got in on the act at Lecce. This cracker setting up a 3-0 victory. Then last Sunday, David Platt put them on the path to an amazing 6-2 win over Udinese. They even managed to score from the spot, first through Vladimir Jugovic and then through Roberto Mancini. This after 6 previous failures earlier in the season. Mancini got another in that same match against Udinese, and he's up amongst the leading scorers as usual with 9 all told. But that's still 2 behind the magnificent Ruud Gullit, whose brilliant all-round play and devastating finishing has helped transform Sampdoria into true title contenders.
Here's Gullit! Oh, cracking goal! And Sampdoria are 3-2 up!
Sampdoria will be heartened by their midweek cup win. But, like that match, there's not been much to choose between the sides since Parma's elevation to the big boys 4 years ago. More evidence of that came when the sides met back in September. Lombardo got a 2nd-minute opener for Sampdoria, but this was wiped out by an own goal from Sacchetti before half-time. 1-1 it finished that day. See what's going to happen today by joining us after the break for Parma against Sampdoria, the whole match live.
Welcome back to the Ennio Tardini Stadium in Parma, where we're enjoying a particularly freezing afternoon. There's a glacial north wind blowing, temperatures down near the freezing mark, and there's even been some snowflakes coming down just before the game gets underway. Now, it is a cold afternoon, but things should be heating up soon enough when the teams get out on the field. We've got Sampdoria against Parma live, and in fact, something of an international media event this game seems to be turning into, because apart from all the usual European TV stations, we've also got commentators from Israel, China, going live to something like 10 million viewers, which is an impressive figure, but apparently just small fry to them. And also masses of Colombians as well. The entire Colombian national football team is down in the director's box cheering on Faustino Sprilia, and there's also something like 20 Colombian journalists here from various radio and TV stations. In fact, there's 5 different stations just on the road below us, going out live. It's something like 9 o'clock in the morning out in South America right now, to going out live to Bogota and Medellin. So I think whatever happens down on the field, we're due for some fireworks up here. In fact, Parma have even added to this South American atmosphere by distributing these little rattlers to the crowd here to try and inspire a bit more feeling. Catch that. We'll be hearing lots of that during the game, if nothing else from Don Howe's teeth. I think a particularly freezing afternoon here. Great atmosphere though, and let's just hope the game lives up to it.
Very good atmosphere, and I can't resist this, James. It's going to be a rattling good game. No, I mean, it's a lovely little stadium. It's a typical English stadium. There's no athletics track round the outside, round the perimeter. So the crowd are right up against the touchlines, which obviously is better for the players. They get a better feel on this type of pitch. It's very cold here, and it's dried the pitch out. Now, whether that will affect the bounce of the ball or not, I don't know. But we'll soon see within the first 10 minutes. But it is a game to look forward to.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously, Sampdoria is a side full of very talented individuals, but unfortunately for them, it looks like Hullet won't be starting the game today. He's on the bench, though. We may be seeing him later. A big impact on their game.
Yeah, well, I think what Eriksson's done, he's brought in Invernizzi, and he's also brought in Rossi, who are defenders. And I think he's going to match Parma up in midfield, because that's where their strength is. They only play Asperilla up the front, and they've got 5 in midfield. And I think Eriksson's very aware of that, and he's going to match them in terms of numbers in midfield.
So a sound coaching move, you think? I noticed that in the English papers this morning, there was certainly a lot of talk of you getting back into the coaching game with the English national squad. Any truth in these stories?
Well, in some ways, yes. I mean, I've spoken to Terry Venables, but there's no decisions. You know, I'm quite surprised at all the comments at the moment.
Okay, well, just briefly then, finally back on this game, Sampdoria against Parma, both squads looking to try and challenge Milan for the title. Which one do you see coming out of here the winner?
I think Sampdoria. Yeah, they've got a terrific away record, and Parma haven't played so well here. It's a lovely little stadium. I think they've won 1 in the last 4 on this stadium. And Sampdoria, with that terrific away form, I think they're going to do it again. It'll be interesting. I think Mancini will play at the front, and I think David Platt will be given a more freer role to get forward.
Okay. Well, we'll be seeing exactly what happens now in the company of our commentary team, Joe Jordan and Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon, everyone. The showpiece of the day then from Serie A provides a tantalising prospect. Parma and Sampdoria are undoubted title contenders despite their continuing efforts to play down the possibility, and hopefully their second meeting in 6 days will be as entertaining as the first one in Genoa last Tuesday, when Sampdoria secured a slender lead, 1 goal from the first leg of the Italian Cup semi-final, the winners by 2-1 Sampdoria. Well, Parma's coach Nevio Scala is anxious to keep his players as fresh as possible with so many important games ahead, both domestically and in defence of the Cup Winners' Cup. So he's been making full use of his senior squad by resting 1 or 2 when he's had the chance. Today he's had 1 change forced on him with the suspension of the Argentine defender Sensini. Matricano replaces him wearing the number 6 shirt. Otherwise it's the expected side with Pin preferred in midfield to Zerato. Well, Sampdoria's main concern, as you've heard, since Tuesday has been the fitness of Ruud Gullit. The Dutch star damaged his thigh during the match, and he's clearly not fully fit, as he is indeed only a substitute today. Invernizzi comes in for him. Vierchowod and Jugovic are both back after suspension, and Rossi continues in defence with Mancini, the Italian international, still injured. David Platt wearing the number 9 shirt then for Sampdoria, still buoyant after his spectacular winning goal on Tuesday. And indeed, the whole side is buzzing too. It's the best team I've ever played in, David reckons. But they're facing a Parma side that seems to be back in the groove again after an indifferent spell when they look to have lost their early season momentum. Alongside me in the commentary box then today is former Milan striker Joe Jordan, now of course manager of Stoke City. Not too happy a week for Joe with a couple of defeats, but he'll put that behind him, and I'm sure, Joe, you're looking forward to this game this afternoon.
Yeah, very much so, Pierre. Good afternoon, everyone. I think everyone must be looking forward to a game where we have two teams of the calibre we have today. Sampdoria, who are exceptional in normally going forward and scoring goals, but it'll be interesting today with the loss of Hullet, whether they just adjust their tactics a little bit and maybe just flood the midfield and try and stop the likes of Di Chiara, Benarivo from getting round behind the defence. I think that that'll be interesting on the tactic that's given.
Nevio Scala, the coach of Parma, who's done such a marvellous job in elevating the side to their current status. Sampdoria in the all-red strip, away from home. About to kick off, attacking the goal to our left. The referee this afternoon, Pierluigi Collina, the balding gentleman from Tuscany. There is David Platt, was so thrilled by his goal on Tuesday. Best he's ever scored, he reckons. And he may well have an even more advanced role today in the absence of Hullet, who they've been nursing through the past few days, but clearly haven't got him 100% fit in time for the match. Asprilla, the player with lightning pace up front, the Colombian international. 7 goals so far this season. He's got 2 in the last 3 as well, Asprilla, although he can be frustratingly inconsistent. But as James was saying, he has the Colombian squad to encourage him today. They have a series of friendly matches coming up. Just hearing of an early goal for Juventus. They're off to a cracking start. Andreas Möller has given them the lead at home to Lecce. Jugovic challenged by Benarivo. Serena with the back pass. Now Brolin. Oh, Sacchetti with a mistimed clearance. Asprilla was hoping to profit. So an early scare there for Sampdoria, who were playing so well away from home in the early part of the season, but not quite so effective in recent games on their travels. This is Benarivo. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of him and Di Chiara making their sorties forward down the flanks. 2 Italian international defenders. Apolloni, who scored his first goal for Parma last week in the win away to Torino. Foul on Asprilla. Very much a danger man, Joe, Asprilla, for Parma.
Yes, and he's got a point to prove today, as you said. He's got the manager, his national team here to see him and everyone else, and he is a person that is excited, not only myself, but the spectators that have watched him regularly here, and also the viewers at home.
This is Evani. Forward by Serena for Lombardo to chase.
I think they're just coming into the picture in Lombardo. I think he is one of the ones that's going to come and try and support Mancini there and give him a helping hand up front. I think he'll be the one to be breaking from midfield to lend a hand.
Yes, he certainly hasn't started in his normal role, wide on the right. Vierchowod. Here is Lombardo. He's been in scintillating form in recent matches, Lombardo, and always seems to score when we cover Sampdoria matches live. Minotti. Shepherded out then by Sacchetti.
Talking about Asprilla, they're trying to impress his national manager. I think there's a number of internationals here in both teams, Peter, who getting towards nearly as we are towards the World Cup, that they'll be out to impress their respective national managers, not only the Italians, but people like Asprilla and all the other internationals from different countries.
This is Peen, whose return to the side has coincided with Parma's improvement in recent matches after they've gone through that sticky spell. Now Rossi bursting forward. Looking to go all the way as well until he was clearly held back. An adventurous run then by Rossi. Recently back in the Sampdoria side after injury, and there was some tugging going on there with Kripa. Evani hovering over the ball. Lombardo maybe shaping up for a kick here. Jugovic is very dangerous from long range as well. The number 8 for Sampdoria, who's just on the edge of the picture now, making a run forward though. So it's Lombardo with a shot, and he won't be too proud of that one. 6 goals from Italia Lombardo this season. And his form has been such, there has been talk again of a possible recall to the Italian national team, but no sign of recognition as yet from Arrigo Sacchi. Di Chiara, found somewhat fortuitously then by Bucci. Forward by Apolloni. In goes Asprilla, beaten though by Vierchowod. Apolloni again. Good jump by Benarivo. Sacchetti with the clearance. Looks as if David Platt is picking up Kripa in this early phase. Kripa, who is very influential for Parma in the midfield area. Zola. Quickly harassed though by Vierchowod. And a hasty clearance by Pagliuca. Kripa. Benarivo. Now to Matracano. One of the 3 central defenders deployed by Parma.
Looking at the start of the game, Pierre, just assessing, I would say it's been a nervous start by both teams. I would say Parma started slightly better, but I suppose it's only natural considering we have a game here where both teams are looking to try and get a victory, with Milan having, on paper, quite an easy fixture where they're at home. And as we are only, what, 12 fixtures away from the end of the season now, and both of these teams will be looking to try and get as many points as possible, and they really can't make too many mistakes. So I think we're looking for a winner today.
This is Kripa. Yes, Milan at home to Cremonese this afternoon. Juventus, as we've heard, are playing Lecce and already a goal up. Lazio at home to Cagliari. Inter are away to Piacenza. Those are the leading sides. Milan 4 points clear of Sampdoria at the top. Parma a further point adrift. A challenge from Rossi, who had quite a lengthy spell out of the side with an injury, and they certainly missed him down the flank. Now they've had to switch him into the centre with Mancini out. Forward by Apolloni, Asprilla, and he was just offside. An astute linesman. Right in line, as he should be, and no hesitation there in raising his flag.
Having watched Parma a number of times now, Pierre, and I'm sure that Sampdoria have taken into account it, the area that's impressed me is Di Chiara and Benarivo, and that is an area where I'm sure that Sampdoria are going to try and close up to prevent these two players creating the opportunities and chances for players like Asprilla. And I think if they can do that, they can nullify Parma a little bit.
Up goes Lombardo to no avail. Mancini. Easy though for Matracano. Now Kripa. In towards Zola. Asprilla. That's good defending by Vierchowod. Retained his composure, kept his concentration. But he didn't then, though. Ran straight into Brolin. Lombardo. Benarivo outsmarting and outmaneuvering Lombardo. Matricano to Apolloni. Here's Peen. Now Brolin, who's been in sparkling form for Parma. But so far, the two teams rather cancelling each other out. And this time, the culprit, says the referee, is Asprilla. Vierchowod, of course, one of the most experienced defenders in Serie A, 34 years old now. Not too many strikers get the better of him. And he'll be hoping to make the Italian squad for the World Cup finals. Although he hasn't featured lately, there's a feeling that Arrigo Sacchi knows all about him and doesn't need to see him at the moment. It's other players he wants to have a look at. Like this man, Menotti, who's been called up for the international against France in the week. Sacchetti away. Zola taking the throw. Another key man for Parma, Zola. Tucks it just behind Asprilla. Mancini, who's been saying this week he feels that Milan are still the favourites for the title and thinks they are the strongest side. But obviously hoping that Sampdoria can reduce their lead in the weeks to come. Some big matches for Milan. They've got all the top clubs still to play. Brolin. Caught though by Jugovic. Now Asprilla. He's got clear of the two defenders. Didn't have the control though at the finish. Well, there we saw the acceleration and speed off the mark of Asprilla.
Well, that's going to be a contest this afternoon where Asprilla, who on many occasions is showing the pace that he's got, and we also have a player on the other side in Vierchowod who's got tremendous pace too. So I mean, that's going to be something that's going to be very interesting and important, whether Vierchowod can handle that.
Zola with the corner, on by Benarivo, flicked away then by Pagliuca under no real pressure. But the warning signs were clearly there with the pace of Asprilla on that surge through the middle, and Rossi actually did well to recover. Now Crippa. This is Benarivo. Casual pass by Zola, who hadn't spotted Mancini. Evani. Here's Platt. Hasn't really got in the game so far, David. Invernizzi, the man who's replacing Ruud Gullit. Very different style of player. He's just slotted into a midfield role, Invernizzi. Free kick to Sampdoria for the foul on Jugovic. 2 goals for him in the last game for Sampdoria at home to Udinese, his first for some time. Foul then by Di Chiara. Evani with the free kick. Just nicked away at the last step by Bucci. He did extremely well to recover and just flick it away.
Well, it's a lovely free kick, and it's just been touched on here, and if the
Mancini.
Yeah, Mancini's just touched it on. It was very unfortunate there. It was a great save.
Mancini, who so nearly forced the opening goal, now taking the corner. Bucci holding on well. He's not the tallest of goalkeepers, but a very highly rated one. Indeed, he's vying with Peruzzi for the number 3 spot in the Italian World Cup squad. Peruzzi of Juventus. Pin. Much of Parma's approach play is channeled through Pin. Di Chiara. Now Kripa. Here is Pin. Away by Rossi. Mancini. Get away though to Benarivo. Typically enthusiastic burst from Benarivo. Zola now. Kripa finding Benarivo. Asprilla. Oh, what a save. And what a shot too from Asprilla, who had more time maybe than he would have anticipated in the penalty box. A spectacular kick. And Pagliuca with the save.
Well, it's a marvellous cross, and to be honest, I thought he should have headed it, but he's done his own variation. He's brought it down in his chest, and he's had a marvellous effort. And very unfortunate not to score an opening goal.
Well, Sampdoria won't be too pleased at the amount of room they gave Asprilla there, and he almost punished them. Denied by the goalkeeping of Pagliuca, Italy's #1. Benarivo. Asprilla. Endeavouring to link up with Zola and nearly succeeding too. Minotti now. Well, it was worth a try then for Minotti, who spotted Pagliuca off his line. Didn't really get hold of the shot though. No place in the Parma side for Melli, the Italian international striker, but he is among the substitutes today, and he's had a spell out through injury. Only just returned to first-team duty. Very dangerous player to have on the bench. Benarivo. Asprilla. Chasing with Vierchowod. Free kick given to Parma for the foul by Platt. Here's Pin. Rolled on to Zola. Good strike, but wide of goal from a man who has scored 11 times for Parma this season, Zola. Many of them from free kicks, of course.
One of the areas I see as a danger from Sampdoria's point of view, Peter, is that they play with 3 at the back there, so there's not an out-and-out marker on Asprilla. When he moves into an area, one of these individuals pick him up. Now, if that individual isn't Vierchowod, who I think has got the pace to handle on most occasions, Asprilla's going to have the opportunity to get away from his markers, because I don't think the other two have got the pace that can handle him. So with the form that he has shown, and as sprightly as he's already shown as in the short period of time the game's been going on, I think he's going to be a problem.
Touched on by Brolin to Asprilla. Brolin. Here's Kripa. Looking for Asprilla. Vierchowod was there with him. Don Howe, also watching the game with us today. Your reflections so far?
Yes, Peter. Well, I agree with Joe. Asprilla is the big danger, and he's moving across those 3 centre-backs at the back for Sampdoria, and no one's picking him up, and he's definitely got them on pace. I mean, over the first 10 yards in that box, he's getting there first. He's a handful, there's no doubt about it. They've gone very tight in midfield as well, Sampdoria. I mean, David Platt's got Kripa, Jugovic has got Brolin, and really it's stopping them from playing. It seems as though the tactics of the situation is stopping them really expressing themselves.
Okay, Don, thanks very much. We'll hear from you later. An injury here to Benarivo, and they won't want to lose him. Such as his importance to the Parma style of play. And Lombardo sportingly giving the ball back to Parma. Minotti. This is Kripa. Apolloni. Menotti. Quite prepared to be patient in their build-up, Parma. But then they suddenly break with speed like this. Zola now, supported by Benarivo. Asprilia's in the middle. Good crossing too, with Pagliuca stretching. And Asprilia lurking just behind him. Good positive attack then by Parma. So many players who are comfortable in possession.
Well, we saw what Parma was all about there, Peter, where you had Zola, who done a little bit of craft on the ball. Marvellous pass out to the wing there, and a great cross. All we didn't get was a finish due to the intervention of the goalkeeper, who came and took up very well.
Now Lombardo, maybe with a chance. Good interception though by Matricano. Serena. Mancini turning well towards Platt. And Jugovic firing it wide. But Mancini not far away then from combining with David Platt. Platt, who not only scored in the week but also last Sunday, and that was his first in the league for a while. His confidence is high, and he's certainly relishing his role in the Sampdoria side, rather than the more negative one he had at Juventus. Coming up towards the halfway point in the first half. Both teams have flexed their muscles, but as yet unable to provide the opening goal. Fouled then by Matricano. Evani with the free kick. Invernizzi. Now Pin. This is Di Chiara. Oh, glorious flick off then by Zola. Platt. Could be something on for Sampdoria here. Mancini. Down went Lombardo. Looking somewhat ruefully towards the lines, but there was no flag, no question of a penalty. There's no offside. Mancini. In for Jugovic. Benarivo with the interception. And now the referee has blown the whistle, somewhat belatedly. Well, for the initial pass, Mancini looked yards offside.
It looked yards offside, but I think the linesman had a perfect view of it. And Mancini nearly exploited their hesitation in getting back.
Well, Menotti, I'm sure, is protesting at the lack of the linesman's flag. But in fairness, he was right in line, and he waved Mancini on. Apolloni for Parma. Parma third in the table, Sampdoria just one place above them. A very tight contest so far. Good anticipation by Sacchetti, who has his license to roam forward. Mancini. No, he's offside. Don't think he heard the whistle. Well, the flag was up. Forceful run here by Sacchetti. And they've just played him off. Pretty tight, though. There's Vierchowod. Rossi, the former Brescia player, his first season with Sampdoria. As it is, of course, for David Platt here. Invernizzi. Mancini. Zola caught in possession though by Mancini. Jugovic. Ran straight into Asprilla. This is Benarivo. Juventus have scored again at home to Lecce. It's Marocchi with the second goal to add to the earlier one from Andy Möller. Juventus 2, Lecce, the bottom club, 0. No goals at Parma on this cold afternoon. Evani. Seeking out Mancini, but he was clearly using his arms then to stave off the challenge from Matricano. A volatile character, Mancini. Bit of a temperamental one, but no doubt a very gifted player. Also hearing that Lazio have struck first against Cagliari, and it's a penalty from Signori. We saw him take one last week, which I'll ask Joe Jordan about in a moment. I know he's very impressed by, got a chance now, Joe. Signori's penalty-taking technique.
Well, it's certainly unique, isn't it?
Two steps?
2 steps. I think the accuracy and the power that he gets by just taking that step is certainly unique. If you look at the penalty last week there, the goalkeeper had actually picked the direction it was going, but he couldn't react quick enough, either to the accuracy or the power that was demonstrated by the action.
And you've had your lads at Stoke practicing that one, I expect, have you, all week?
Yes, we never came on. We were doing a little bit of practicing and the possibility of going to extra time and then getting penalties against Oldham, but unfortunately we never got that far, so it wasn't to much point.
Well, we won't dwell on that. Evani. Benarivo. Only as far as Jugovic, though, and Apolloni had to rescue his team. Rossi was in strongly. Jugovic. Lombardo felled, unfouled. Opinions differ. Matricano was very tight on him.
Well, Lombardo's done well there. I mean, he's protected the ball and he's used his experience. And to be honest, I think it was a foul, but I think it was a silly one. I think that it wasn't going to go anywhere if he just allowed him to show him the ball. I think he would eventually win it, but it's given Sampdoria a free in a very, very dangerous area.
And he won't stand for any nonsense, this referee. He has a pretty fearsome reputation. So he quickly quelled the arguments there, being raised by the Parma players. They'd be better advised to get their concentration right on this free kick. Jugovic shaping up maybe for a crack at goal here. Mancini as well. Touched off to Jugovic. Charged down though by Asprilla. Sacchetti to pump it back again. He's found Mancini. Jugovic on for Lombardo. Jugovic! Oh, that's a classic goal. Super goal. Magnificent execution by Sampdoria.
Well, that's a fantastic goal. And first of all, it was a little bit of hesitation. I mean, it's the third time that Sampdoria have tried, that Parma have tried to play offside and not got it right. And the linesman's perfectly correct in his decision. And a marvellous 1-2 there with Jugovic. And his composure, picking his spot, has finished off a marvellous move. And in the last 5-6 minutes there, Sampdoria have come into the game a little bit, where originally I thought that Parma had dictated the game.
Yellow card for Bucci. Not sure what his protest was about then. It was a superbly worked goal. I can't see that there was anything wrong with that.
No, I think, as I said earlier, you know, Parma, they've tried to come out, and in 3 occasions in the last 10 minutes they've done so, and they've got it wrong, and they've nearly been punished. And on the third time, the linesman and the referee have got it perfectly right, and that hesitation's really cost them. But I don't think you can take away from the football that came from Sampdoria to actually construct it once they had the opportunity. And it was a marvellous goal, marvellous move.
Sampdoria in front, thanks to Jugovic. following up his 2 goals last week with another one today. 5 now in total for Jugovic this season. A player who actually lost his place in the team a little earlier on in the campaign. Asprilla appealing in vain for a free kick. And the best Sampdoria defence standing firm again. Bean. Benarivo. Asprilla has shown for him. Policed as ever by Vierchowod. Mancini. This is Creeper. Half an hour gone. Asprilla. Parma trailing by a 1-0. Lombardo. Playing with a lot of confidence, Lombardo. And it certainly baffles quite a few observers as to why he's not in the Italian national squad at the moment.
So far, Lombardo's done well. Yeah, coming in for a player of Hullet's class and the way that Hullet has been playing this season for Sampdoria is not an easy role to take. But we've seen in the past how well he works that right wing, and there he is up the middle, and he's playing really well, contributing quite a lot.
Evani tugging the strings for Sampdoria, on by Platt. Matricano's important challenge then on Lombardo. Parma up against it at the moment, as are Lecce. They're now 3-0 down away to Juventus. The 3rd goal from Ravanelli, which I'm sure he's celebrated in typical fashion. And is probably still circling the ground. Evani with the corner. In by Invernizzi, then Rossi. And the referee acknowledging the linesman's flag, but inviting Parma to carry on. Minotti. Minotti. Now Zola. Some sorcery from him wouldn't go amiss now for Parma. Tentative layoff by Benarivo, and he might get punished. Mancini. Jugovic, the goal scorer. This is Mancini. Been asking too much of Asprilla. He's quick, but not that quick. Benarivo. Really exciting player, Benarivo, when he's on his game, but he was caught out again there. Down goes Lombardo. It was a bad tackle by Apolloni. That'll have to be a yellow card. Very rash lunge then on Lombardo, who threatened to go clear. Well, Don Howe, any surprise to you that Sampdoria have gone in front?
Well, it has, because they started the game off very, very disciplined and not really sending players forward. It took Lombardo 20 minutes to get used to this new position, playing up front with Mancini. But now he's got into the game, he's absolutely brilliant. That return ball on the 1-2 with Jugovic for the goal was absolutely magic. I mean, he is a wonderful player, and he just shows how adaptable he is. Instead of playing in that outside right position, he's playing up front with Mancini. It's took him 20 minutes, but now he's outstanding.
Thanks, Don. Lombardo back in the fray. Much to the relief, I'm sure, of Sven-Goran Eriksson, the coach of Sampdoria, whose team are leading by 1-0, thanks to the strike from Jugovic. Apolloni, who committed that horrendous assault on Lombardo. Rather like one of Joe Jordan's old tackles. Crippa.
I think he misread it, actually. I think Lombardo was just that little bit too quick for him.
Crippa, this is more promising from Parma. Brolin taking the throw. Benarivo. Haven't really posed enough menace around the Sampdoria penalty box so far, Parma. Now they can with Pin. What a good effort. Oh, that wasn't too far away at all as Pagliuca went scrambling across. Gabriel Pin, who has yet to score for Parma this season. But pretty close on that occasion. It was his header there. Now Zola. Trying to shake off Sacchetti. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Di Chiara. Now Brolin. Evani. This is Serena. Holding down a regular place in the team now for Sampdoria. Serena. Mainly due to injuries and suspensions, but he's been pretty consistent for them. Lombardo tumbled again. It's proving a real handful for Parma. Mancini threaded on to Lombardo. Now Mancini. No. The linesman's flag is up. But a mighty, mighty close thing again. And Parma, well, they're leading a charmed life there.
Well, someone will need to give me an explanation on that, because I didn't see it in Roman Mancini's position here when he struck it. It must have been someone else interfering, because it looked perfectly good goal from me.
Well, an escape for Parma. This is Crippa now. And the free kick is given just on the edge of the box. Is it? No, the referee says play on. Wasn't convinced as Crippa went down. I think the feeling is that Lombardo was offside in that raid by Sampdoria, which finished with Mancini planting the ball in the back of the net, but disallowed for offside. Zola tripping past the tackles. It's glorious skill. Now Crippa. Here's Pin. Another good strike and another exemplary piece of goalkeeping by Pagliuca. His positioning was perfect. But twice Pin has been in shooting range. Mancini, pursued by Minotti. And Mancini has won the corner to the chagrin of Minotti. Mancini still having a go, I think, about the disallowed goal, Joe.
Well, I don't think he's going to listen to his explanation. I think he's convinced his goal was valid. And from what I seen, I thought it was. I didn't see anyone in any way interfering, either through an offside position or who had committed a free kick.
Evani will take this corner. Vierchowod has come forward. That was Mancini who went down. Looking hopefully towards the referee, but no question of any offence. But now there is one. It's a free kick to Parma. Parma, who haven't really been able to penetrate Sampdoria's defence so far.
I think it's important that they don't get frustrated. Sampdoria, who I thought started very slowly, making sure that they weren't going to give anything away, but I think they've come into the game, and although they've given Parma the area, I think they've dominated the later part of this first half, not only in being 1-0 up, but having the chances to go further ahead. And it's important that Parma don't lose their shape, keep their discipline, and continue to play their normal game.
Lombardo away from Asprilla. Mancini. Payne. Parma looking to launch from defence to attack with Brolin, who hasn't featured too prominently so far, which will be disappointing for Parma. He's been a key man in their recent games. Benarivo quickly confronted by Serena. I think Benarivo had already lost his footing. It was more of a stumble, but Serena certainly ran into him, and Zola has the free kick. The foul on Benarivo. Five minutes of the first half to go. Ripper's header. Everybody appeals, and it's a goal kick. Some drama in the San Siro. Milan at home to Cremonese. Savicevic has missed a penalty, but it was ordered to be retaken, and Costa Curta missed it. So it's still Milan 0, Cremonese 0. Milan, who are having problems scoring goals on a regular basis, but still seem to come through matches with at least a point. So they remain the favourites to retain their title at the top of Serie A. Asprilla. To Chiara, to Crippa. Now this could be a chance for the mercurial Zola. He's got an incredibly high ratio of success from set pieces. 1 in 3 has produced a goal for him. That's some record, Joe.
That's fantastic. His goal tally this season is 11, and there's quite a percentage have come from his free kicks. But I think he is someone who's very conscientious. He works at it, he practices it, and it's paid dividends not only for him but also for Parma.
Asprilla is there as well, but it is Zola with the kick. Well, Pagliuca was scampering across his goal.
Well, he certainly was stretched to the limit there by Luca. I thought it was a little bit too far out to have an attempt, but I thought he maybe have played it to someone to try and get it with some power, but he wasn't far away, was he?
Just past the post, almost shaved it. Almost got his hand to that then, Pagliuca. So it was good reactions from him. Coolly headed down then by Menotti to Benarivo. Again, the offender is Asprilla. He's having a fair old battle with Vierchowod, who's been through a few in his time. Serena leaving the kick for Rossi. Wasn't a very good one. Click on from Jugovic. I think the foot was high, though. Two minutes of the first half remaining. Apolloni. Parma a goal down and finding Sampdoria very hard to break down. Apolloni. Crippa. He's got Brolin through the middle, and support here from Payne. Now Benarivo. 4 Parma players around the penalty box. This is Asprilla. Just too many defenders for him, though. They're so aware of the potential threat that he poses. Zola wriggling through, down he goes. No penalty. No penalty. Zola disgusted, but the referee, who was pretty close to the scene, just turned away. Now he dived. Joe?
Well, I've seen penalties given for less. I think he had it on his mind when he was turning there, and he knew the vicinity of the players close to him. But you've got to hand it to the referee. He was in a position to decide, and he's decided it was no penalty. So that's the end of the matter as far as we're concerned.
And here comes Sampdoria, thrusting forward on the break. Jugovic ran straight into Menotti, though. Evani trying to ride the tackles. Again, the referee allowing play to go on. Asprilla. Important tackle by Vierchowod.
For the majority of the game so far, Peter, they've managed to nullify Asprilla because they've played a little bit deep and they've not given them the area to run into. But when the Sampdoria get caught, when they're in possession, they push forward and they lose possession of the ball, and there's the balls played through. That is when Asprilla comes into his own, when he can demonstrate the pace he's got. And the only fortunate thing so far from Sampdoria's point of view that Asprilla has come up against Vierchowod, and if he comes up against the other two markers in Rossi and Sacchetti, I think they're going to be a danger there.
It's a free kick to Sampdoria as we move into injury time at the end of the first 45 minutes. So some more defensive organising for Bucci to do in the Parma goal. Evani will take the kick. Mancini's now gone into the middle. A run-two from Lombardo. It was Menotti's header. Flags up. Vierchowod caught offside. Asprilla now. Seven offside decisions given so far. One or two of them rather marginal. Menotti. Foul by Jugovic on Kripa. Deep into injury time as Parma search for the equaliser. Peen. Well read again by Sacchetti. Menotti now. Too long though for Asprilla. They've got themselves in a tangle. Did that come back off an arm? Zola with a shot that's charged down. Then Peen. Di Chiara now. Zola. On goes Di Chiara. Well, they're in some disarray at the back then, Sampdoria. They've got away with it. The last few seconds of the first half. It'll be Zola with the corner. Lombardo away. Peen to hook it back again. Now Asprilla. Forced wide by Evani, and it's a goal kick. As the expression of our friend from Colombia will tell you. Too many injuries in the first half, so there can't be much time left on the watch of referee Collina. Mancini spreads it wide to Invernizzi. Apolloni. The end of the first half, which sees Sampdoria edging in front thanks to the goal on 27 minutes from Jugovic. Delightfully constructed and coolly finished by the former Yugoslav international. Parma have been kept fairly subdued, really. They haven't attacked with all that much menace in this first half. And Sampdoria go in at the break, leading by a goal to nil, and we'll be back after we take a short break as well.
Welcome back to the Ennio Tardini Stadium in Parma. The score, of course, in our live game is Sampdoria 1, Parma 0. As you can see, the field empty. The teams have wisely decided to take refuge from the cold in the locker rooms. So while they do that, let's race through the half-time scores in this, the 23rd weekend of the season. And we start up at at Bergamo rather, I should say. Atalanta losing 1-0 at the moment to Roma. Balbo getting back on the score sheet for the Giallorossi. Genoa leading 1-0 at home to Torino. Vink with his first goal for Genoa. Juventus 3-0 up at home to Lecce. Muller, Morocchi and Ravanelli. The score is there. Muller's first goal for 2.5 months, that. Lazio 1-0 up over Cagliari. Signori with a penalty. Milan 0-0 against Cremonese. Milan not scoring despite both Savicevic and Costa Curta having a crack at a penalty, but Cremonese now down to 10 men, Ferraroni having been sent off for them. Parma losing 1-0 at home to Sampdoria. Jugovic the scorer there, of course, and Piacenza 1-0 up against Inter. Moretti their scorer. Udinese 0-0 against Napoli. Foggia Reggiana coming up later tonight, a game you can see, of course, on our Tuesday night Mezzanotte programme. Right now, age shall not wither it, not customs tell its infinite variety. Yep, it's golden goals this weekend as ever, with the best of last Sunday's action.
Yes, your chance to look at some great goals, all contenders for February's Goal of the Month competition. Paul Gascoigne will choose his top selection from these and others to be shown over the next few weeks. If you eventually agree with his #1 choice, you could win an Alitalia Italia Tour trip to see the Italian Cup final in April. Remember, the best of these, plus the top goals of the next few weeks, will make up our February Goal of the Month finalists.
Welcome back to the Ennio Tardini Stadium in Parma. 1-0, the score between Sampdoria and Parma. Don Howe, our guest here, as before. Don, not the most conclusive of starts for Sampdoria, but they really came together, really concrete, the more concrete of the two teams right now.
No, that's right. Parma were easily the better side in the first 20 minutes, and Asperilla should have scored. He had two good chances, and Rossi, of all people, who's just come into the side for Mancini, got across to him and virtually stopped him just as he's going to knock the ball in the net. And then all of a sudden, they got it together. Manny through Mancini. I think with Gullit not playing today, obviously it's motivated him. I think he thought to himself, well, I better do it today, because his form over the last couple of games hasn't been good. And it took Lombardo 20 minutes to get going in this new position as a striker rather than outside right. And he's got it together, and in the end, I mean, for the goal, was absolutely superb. That 1-2 with Jugovic was absolutely marvellous and a great finish.
Yeah, well, Parma trailing by a goal. We noticed that during half-time that Melli's been warming up down on the sideline, and there's obviously then the possibility that Parma are going to be attacking with the trident formation in the second half. What do you reckon? Yeah,
I think he's going to change it, because what they have done, Sampdoria, they have snuffed them out in the middle of the pitch. David Platt's gone tight on Cripper. On the opposite side, Jugovic has gone tight on Brolin, and Brolin, you see, won't run back with Jugovic. That's how he got in for the goal. Brolin really wants just to be a forward player, and Jugovic will break off him. So obviously I think Scala has seen this and he wants to do something about it.
Where do you think he's going to take somebody off, though?
Out of midfield, I think. I mean, he has to keep his... I mean, the right back, Benarivo, I mean, he looks a good player, doesn't he? He gets forward well. It's going to be one of those midfield players. I wouldn't think it's going to be Zola. I mean, he talks about... I mean, I've read today coming over here that he's thinking about giving Zola a rest. He's thinking about giving Brolin a rest. It could be one of those two.
Well, we shall see soon enough, because the teams are about to come back on the field now. So let's hand over back to our commentary team for the second half of this game. Sampdoria, Parma, Joe Jordan and Peter Brackley.
And I would think it is Brolin who is to be the player replaced by Melli. Certainly Melli is coming on wearing number 16. A player who has played for the Italian national team, but has lost his place in the Parma side on a regular basis this season. He's only started a handful of matches, Melli, and lately has been out through injury. He started at the Italian Cup semi-final first leg back on Tuesday. That was his first start since the beginning of the year. Very dangerous striker, and clearly an option that Nevio Scala believes he's now going to take up by throwing him into this second half. Sampdoria leading thanks to the goal from Jugovic on 27 minutes. And in fact, it is Pin, I'm just hearing now, who has been replaced by Alessandro Melli. So they've taken off a midfield player and thrown on an extra striker. Parma kicking off, now from right to left. This is Benarivo. Now Minotti. With Rossi with a header away, helped on now by David Platt, but only as far as Minotti. Benarivo. This is Matricano under pressure from Lombardo. Certainly one of the outstanding players of the first half, Lombardo. But I think, Joe Jordan, no real surprise that Melli has now come on.
No, I think Scala had to do something. It was just what player he was going to take off. I think Aspila has been snuffed out a little bit in the manner in which Sampdoria have played. They played a little bit deep and have not allowed him to get the space in behind where he can utilise his tremendous pace. So we've got Melli coming on, who's a player that can link up with players and also is very dangerous round about the box and can score goals. So we have a positive reaction from Scala, so let's hope it can improve the game from Parma's point of view.
Melli, who's been the top scorer for Parma in recent seasons, but only 4 in this campaign. As I was saying earlier, he hasn't played all that often. And he wasn't too pleased at being left out of the starting lineup on a regular basis. He felt he'd shown his loyalty to Parma by staying with them rather than taking up one of the offers to go to the likes of Juventus. Inter, I think, also interested. And he was rather displeased that Parma repaid him by leaving him out of the team. Talking of Inter, they have now equalised away to Piacenza. A goal from the former Milan player, Battistini. Asprilla getting the touch on. Here's Melli. But a foul by him. Penalised by referee Collina. Benarivo. Not a bad bounce then, though, to give him the benefit of the doubt. Again, so far in contrast to the cup tie last Tuesday, when Parma took the lead away from home, but Sampdoria went on to win by 2-1. The throw too strong for Lombardo. Minotti. This is Kripa.
one aspect of the game that impressed me in the first half was the work rate of Lombardo and Mancini. Mancini is a player who's not really renowned for his work rate. He's a very talented player, but I think he certainly took that responsibility in the first half.
Di Chiara. Whacked away by Serena. Apolloni. Yes, I think in the absence of Hullet, Mancini has taken more on his shoulders today, leading by his own example. Jugovic, the goal scorer. Now Lombardo, who's covered so much ground in the game so far, and would have covered some more then if he hadn't been tipped over by the tackle from Di Chiara. Lombardo, who the coach Eriksson says is indispensable now as far as Sampdoria's title challenge is concerned. And they will be very anxious that he runs off his injury pretty quickly. Rossi with the free kick. Well, a yellow card for Rossi, presumably for not taking the kick quickly enough.
Well, I don't know how many he's booked so far, but I think he's getting a little bit fussy. I don't think he was trying to waste time there, Rossi, but the referee has slapped down hard on any incident like that. But I would say he's getting a little bit too fussy.
Brolin. Here's Minotti. Matricano with Apolloni. Zola. That's a good tackle by Jugovic. The referee says that's a free kick. Now Parma felt that was very harsh. A kick taken by Evani. Lombardo will come away from Minotti. Invernizzi's given it away though. Zola. Asprilla sprinting through the middle. He got no chance though getting past those two. And you can't really blame defenders for panicking, I suppose, when Asprilla's in full flow, but he was well away from the danger area there. Zola taking the kick quickly. Benarivo! Just past Melli in the 6-yard box. But my word, Sampdoria were caught out then by the speed with which Parma took the free kick.
Yes, they lost their concentration there. I think it would have been unjust because initially I didn't think it was a free kick, but they won it and they nearly exploited the lack of concentration that Sampdoria showed.
Lombardo charging through now. Matricano, though, returning his composure. Apolloni turning away from Mancini. Melli. It was quick thinking by Zola to set up the chance for Benarivo. And if he'd squared it to Melli, it surely would have been a goal. Zola. On for Brolin. Perfectly weighted pass then by Zola. Brolin now, Di Chiara. That'll be Pagliuca's, or should be anyway, off the head of Asprilla. Brolin. Off goes Asprilla. Rossi, though, to curtail his potential threat. But certainly Sampdoria defenders more occupied now with the presence of Melli.
Yeah, it's altered it a little bit. I think they've imposed them. Parma have imposed themselves in the game at the start of this second half. They've had one great opportunity, and as you said, if they had a square to Melli, I think we could have had the equaliser.
Benarivo in towards Melli, who climbed well. Invernizzi away. Well, there's a definite urgency about Parma's build-up now. That's a foul by Platt. On Kripa, the former Napoli man who settled in so well for Parma.
They're giving too many free kicks away, Peter, especially when someone like Zola on the ball. I think that they could pay for it if they continue to adopt this tactic.
Here's Zola with the free kick now. A lot of jostling going on around the 6-yard box. Apolloni almost made contact. Out by Evani now. Brolin. He's found Zola. Great skill by Zola, but the final pass not good enough. The Sampdoria being pegged back here now. Brolin. Benarivo. Great encouragement for the Parma team from the home crowd. Brolin. Fabulous atmosphere in the Ennio Tardini Stadium as Di Chiara goes surging forward. Now Minotti. And the service was poor with Melli, as you saw there on the edge of the 6-yard box. Surely profited from a decent cross there. Serena. Fairly rare attack for Sampdoria in the second half, with Parma beginning to dictate the play. But still trailing by a goal to nil. Jugovic on 27 minutes. Rossi. And Lazio seem to be well in charge at home to Cagliari. A second goal for Signori, his 12th of the season, to add to his first half penalty. Lazio 2, Cagliari 0. Well, Gascoigne's team, of course. Now that's merely challenging to no avail. As far as we know, Gazza's playing for Lazio today. I think Terry Venables was going out to watch him as well, the New England coach. Zola. Couldn't check off Jugovic. Apolloni again has come up from the back. Deep across this time. That was Matricano. And foot was high. Parma now, Joe, beginning to apply some pressure on the Sampdoria goal.
Yeah, straight from the kick-off, they've started well, and their approach, they've constructed it well. I would just say the final cross has just been a little bit left to be desired. I think they could improve on that, and one or two occasions I think there were players there that were free in the box, notably Melli, and if they had given a good final ball, I think we could have had a goal or two.
Kripa on for Asprilla. Rossi's attempted challenge, which has left him struggling. Asprilla, fantastic turn of pace then.
Just one touch too many there. He done it magnificent there. And I don't know what's happened to Rossi, but he's definitely stretched him to the limit in that action there. But I think he was in a position here. We have him now. Once he goes by, I think he must try and pull it back. But all credit, I think it was Vierchowod that did the interception, done a great job.
Here's the corner, just over the bar from Minotti.
I think it was David Platt that got in the road of that, because it was goal bound, and that intervention and from Platt has put it over the bar and saved the goal.
Well, it actually came off Pagliuca there.
It was Pagliuca, yeah.
Now Rossi has limped off here. Well, Sampdoria will be hoping he's okay. He certainly pulled up very sharply after Asprilla had sprinted past him. I think he's still going to come off, Rossi. They've got Hullet on the bench, of course, but it's Dall'Igna, I think, who will replace him. One of the young defenders that Sampdoria are bringing on. Asprilla. Away from Vierchowod. Well, it would have been some goal, Joe.
Well, that was brilliant footwork there. I mean, he's created something out of nothing. He's got 3 players round about him. He sent him a lovely little dummy, and unfortunately no one has ended the cross. I think the cross could have been a little bit better, but the leading upward was tremendous.
Brolin with the header down. Grippa. This is Brolin again, the Swedish international, who's had a relatively quiet game so far today. Asprilla. Well, they're beginning to create openings now, Parma. Albeit a difficult one there for Asprilla. It's a long, long way out. But as we've seen so often in Serie A, they do score some spectacular goals in the Italian league. And I know, Joe, how much you admire that one from Ruben Sosa last week for Inter.
It was terrific, wasn't it? I think when you seen the action from behind the goal, you've seen a player. It's a flying goal. It was tremendous.
Now, Di Chiara with a throw then for Parma, who badly need a goal themselves. Zola. Brolin. They're rather casual then, though, Parma. Matricano and Brolin. A bit of a misunderstanding, really. Grippa. Wide to Di Chiara. Asprilla. Who's being marked by Dall'Igna. As I was saying, he's a youth product for Sampdoria, Dall'Igna. Just 21 years old.
Well, he's certainly given him a tough task coming on in a game like this, of the importance that we know, and him to mark a player who's in the second half has been very, very busy.
Matricano. Apolloni. No one has ventured upfield for Sampdoria. Asprilla. Dall'Igna just got a foot in. Laid off then by Melli. To Benarivo. Invernizzi, who's had a tidy game for Sampdoria. Now Lombardo. Testing the pace at the back of Matricano. It was equal to the task. Brolin. Way by Sacchetti. Brolin again. Sampdoria having to sit back, hope to catch Parma on the break. Minotti. He's given the free kick. In fact, it's a corner. Zola. That's some pushing there, surely. Name any one of 3 there as they all converged at the edge of the 6-yard box. News coming in that Milan have scored at last at home to Cremonese, and it's Simone. Recently back in the Milan side after injury. So the leaders in front. And so are Sampdoria, the team in second place, thanks to this man Jugovic's goal. On by Evani. Parma having a much larger say now in the second half. Zola. Again, asking too much of Asprilla. Lombardo. Tackle was a clean one by Menotti. And in fairness, no protest from Mancini. Apolloni, the Crippa. Belli losing out. With that De Chiara to Crippa. Again, it was a strong challenge by Lombardo. Mancini. Apolloni. Evani helping out David Platt. But there's nobody in the Parma half for Sampdoria. They're quite happy to soak up the pressure. Almost halfway through the second half. Parma 0, Sampdoria 1.
They've just lost their momentum for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Sampdoria have been able to get out and knock some long balls, which Lombardo have got on to, and they made some runs and really taken the pressure off his defence, and that's really knocked the momentum that Sampdoria had to endure in this second half.
That's brilliant. It's a Sampdoria throw. Well, Signori is enjoying his game for Lazio today. He's got his hat-trick now. Lazio 3 up against Cagliari, and Signori, last season's top scorer in Serie A, has scored all 3 for his team this afternoon. That's 13 for the campaign. Benarivo. Belli. Benarivo. Now De Chiara. Trying to wriggle through, but again, there was just too many red shirts ahead of it. Matricano. Asprilla. Belli trying to send Asprilla clear. Well, the whistle had to go in the end. All measure of tackles coming in. And eventually, the free kick given to Parma. Sort that one out. Zola's kick. Pagliuca having to fist it away. Then De Chiara dispossessed by Evani. Mancini. Well, there was a sudden break then from Sampdoria.
Well, you've just seen the danger there where Parma are getting sucked into. I think it was demonstrated ever so clearly there. Unfortunately, the finish didn't match the break that came from one 18-yard box to the next, and they'll need to take that into account, Parma, and make sure that they don't be exposed at the back for the remainder of this game.
Menotti. Sacchetti. Benarivo from Zola's pass. Off goes Crippa. Sampdoria defending resolutely. Zola couldn't get through though. Now Lombardo. Vierchowod. Evani. Just kept in by Invernizzi. Hacking away at Mancini. Invernizzi. Lombardo in support before he was sent crashing to the ground. The referee says that's not a foul. Benarivo. Zola. Such trickery then from Zola. The cross was too close to Pagliuca. He's a very, very accomplished goalkeeper. Well, Don Howe, just to bring you in now, Parma still finding it hard to find a way through the Sampdoria defence.
Yes, they are, Peter. I mean, in terms of possession, I mean, they're going forward all the time, and yet they're not making good shooting positions or even positions where they can hurt this defence. I just feel down the middle they're not going to go in. They need to get something going down the flanks. Either get Benarivo and Chiara down there or get some flank play. At the moment they're trying to get through these three centre-backs and they're not getting anywhere. Occasionally Asprilla gets involved, but in general they're not breaking things down through the middle. They've got to get down the flanks more.
Thank you, Don. Benarivo to Brolin. Now Minotti, who's come forward. The good strike too. Well, that was promising then for Parma. Minotti, who scored a couple of times in Serie A this season, suddenly finding the space and the room for the shot. Covered though by Pagliuca. Lombardo got the flick on then. Mancini. Good anticipation by Matricano. Nelly's header on. Little tangle between Asprilla and Dall'Igna, which left the referee unimpressed by the claims of either player. Apolloni. Minotti. Now Brolin. Apolloni. Saved by Pagliuca. Well, Apolloni scored his first goal, remember, last week in the win away to Torino, and fancied his chances again there. So two of the central defenders having a strike for goal in the last minute or so. Zola now with this corner. It'll fall for Asprilla. Dancing past one tackle, but then three more came in. And collectively, they stopped him.
Well, I thought he'd get through there. Just at the last moment, there was a foot that just clawed the ball away from him.
Grippo taking the throw for Parma. Still behind to Jugovic's goal in the first half. As Asprilla is toppled. And he has certainly been the main target for some rash tackling by Sampdoria. And it's earned Dall'Igna the yellow card. Zola curling over the cross. Platt got the header out. Brolin back in again. No offside. Pagliuca somehow holding on. Good work from Chiara. Matricano. The Parma fans really raising their voices now as Brolin tries to go through. Asprilla. And Minotti! At last, it's 1-1. Well, he threatened a few minutes earlier, and now he's finished with great aplomb. Parma 1, Sampdoria 1, Minotti the scorer.
It's been a great. If we take it up here, Aspila has turned goal maker. He's put in a marvellous cross, and there we have Menotti just finishing like a centre forward, not a sweeper. And I think, to be honest, I think that is merited. I think with the pressure that they have put on, especially of late, I think it would have been an injustice not for him to get a goal. Now we have a situation where are they going to go and try and get the winner?
Nobody picked up Menotti, and his third goal in Serie A in the 73rd minute has put a new complexion on the game now. Di Chiara, the player injured, seems to be okay though. Benarivo. Asprilla. Now Jugovic. That's a foul by Lombardo, who was holding off Menotti. Benarivo. Jugovic back defending, but then just about everyone from Sampdoria is in this second half. Minutes to go. Apolloni for Parma. Still dictating the play, and they certainly won't be settling for a 1-1. Asprilla. That's Platt nudging him over. That'll be another caution. David's in trouble now. Can't really complain at that. Asprilla in full flight. How do you stop him? Well, David had to resort to illegal tactics. Platt will now be suspended for the next Sampdoria match, so that's a big blow for him and for the team in their struggle to keep pace with Milan up at the top of the table. Zola with the free kick. We curled it in then tantalisingly, and somehow Sampdoria scrambled it clear. The master of the set piece, Zola. So often successful, as we were saying earlier. Now Crippa. Brolin just got his foot in ahead of Evani. A real zest about Parma's play. And Zola finds Benarivo. Asprilla. Was Melli at the far post, just denied then by Vierchowod. Vital header away by the Sampdoria veteran. Tremendous encouragement now for the Parma team. Zola with the corner. Again, they've posted their central defenders forward, Parma, but without success this time, as Pagliuca holds on. Benarivo. Another caution. This time for Crippa. That for handling the ball. No sign of Sampdoria warming up Ruud Gullit at all, so we don't think he's going to come on at this stage anyway. Lombardo. It's a foul by Crippa.
I think the Sampdoria defence will be happy just to get a break. They've been under tremendous pressure of late.
Evani. Now Mancini. Evani again. Lombardo. Well, they blocked his path to goal. But he did look very dangerous, then, Lombardo, as he sent defenders weaving one way, then the other. A man who's in inspired form, Lombardo. And Parma a little lucky to survive then. Evani taking the corner for Sampdoria. Well, Butchie lost it. Melli. Now the counter-attack from Parma. Melli on for Asprilla, but no, Dall'Igna, or Vierchowod rather, just managing to knock it away. Zola. Offside against Melli. Lombardo, and it's Benarivo in possession for Parma. He's got Zola out wide. In towards Melli, and coolly down by young Dall'Igna. Mancini. Serena. Jugovic trying to plough his way through. Invernizzi out by Apolloni. Strong challenge by Sacchetti on Melli. Free kick given to Sampdoria. Evani. Now Mancini. Evani, such an industrious player for Sampdoria. On loan, of course, from Milan. Who are still leading Cremonese. So they're going to retain their advantage at the top of Serie A. Indeed, increase it if it stays this way, 1-1 in Parma. So really it's victories that both teams need now if they are to catch Milan at the top. Zola. Free kick given to Parma. The foul on Zola.
He's been one of the stars today, Zola. I think his leading upward and the skill that he's shown on the ball has been tremendous.
Didn't fall for Melli and co. Here's Asprilla. Simply no way through. Dall'Igna almost got caught then by Crippa. Mancini doesn't have too much support. Nothing much I can say there can console him. Benarivo. Brolin. On for Crippa. Quickly closed down by Invernizzi. Jugovic. Now Lombardo. Here's Platt. Di Chiara for Parma. Rather careless though, and then Platt losing out, but the free kick's given to Sampdoria. We've had 6 away wins in Serie A this season, just 3 defeats on their travels. And of course they are the top scorers in Serie A. 45 goals they've now scored this season. Although Juventus have been closing the gap through their home game with Lecce. I think 3 or 4 up. 4 up, I think they are now.
Taking into account that there's still 11 games after this one, and there's still a long way to go. A draw for either team is not the ideal result for either of them. I think that one or the other wants to win. They want the 2 points to try and stay with Milan, and if they draw today, they could go a further point behind.
Zola chipping it in. Now Melli. Zola again, skipping one tackle, and it was Sacchetti who came across.
We made a lot of his execution and set pieces, Zola, but there's certainly a lot more to his game than that. I think his footwork and his touch and control and the way he can beat a player is really second to none.
Here's Zola with a corner now. Dall'Igna with the header, another corner. Zola, who seems to be surplus to requirements as far as Arrigo Sacchi is concerned, the Italian national coach, which has certainly surprised a lot of people. Longer one this time, Pagliuca having to flap it away. He's found Serena. Now Lombardo. Platt's pulled out wide on the right. Seen by Evani too. Another player with outstanding vision, Evani. It was good work then by Di Chiara, who I think I wanted Butchie to come for it, the goalkeeper. Brolin. Up towards Melli. Again, Vierchowod snapping into the tackle. Fearless defender. Such a steady one too. Zola. Brolin. This is Benarivo. Looking for Asprilla. There's that little burst of pace again, but this time it was out of play. Free kick to Parma. Minotti to Brolin. Three minutes left. Melli touched off to Benarivo. Asprilla with Platt just behind him. Vierchowod away, but only as far as Zola. And then that crunching challenge by Jugovic. Apolloni has come up, so has Minotti and Matricano. All three of the central defenders for Parma. Pagliuca fisting it clear. Brolin to knock it back in again. Just whisked away then by Vierchowod. I think the flag was up anyway, so nothing would have counted there. An offside flag had already gone up. Well, that's the possession. Certainly Parma have dominated on that count. But just the one goal to show for their efforts. That from Minotti after the opener from Jugovic in the first half for Sampdoria.
I think as far as possession and pressure is concerned, I think Parma have won the day, but I think also taking into effect Sampdoria, the grit and determination that they have shown in respect to getting this point. I think as it stands, the game's not over yet by a long way, but anything can happen. But I think they have earned their draw with those ingredients. It's taken a lot to come here without Hullet. And as we've already said, I think a lot of credit should go to Lombardo, playing in a position which he's not accustomed to, and also the extra responsibility that Mancini has taken.
Asprilla. Was a lovely turn, still Asprilla. Zola, save on the line. Rolling to fire it back in again. And Serena somehow managed to clear. Well, no wonder he's been congratulated there by his goalkeeper Pagliuca.
Well, as I said, that's what it was all about, the possession and pressure that has been put on him. Asprilla has given us the example of it, followed up by Zola, and then we have the determination and grit that I was trying to express earlier by clearing that ball off the line. That's what the game has been all about, and I think that action there just shows that maybe a draw at the end of the day is a result. I'm sure Parma feel they've been hard done by, but there's so many qualities in the game of football, and I think we've seen most of them today.
Sampdoria aren't going to risk Ruud Gullit. They're bringing on Amoruso, a young striker, just for the last couple of minutes or so, replacing Lombardo, who has worked so hard for Sampdoria. But no doubt at all, their saviour was Serena with that clearance off the goal line from Zola. Gazza's scored, I've just heard, for Lazio today. Well done, Gazza. They're 4 up at home to Cagliari, so it's a comprehensive win for another team on the fringe of the leaders, of course, Lazio, enhancing their title prospects by their win last week, that late win over Inter, and now another victory today. Miskicked them by Vierchowod, just testing, he says.
I think that's about the first thing he's done wrong all afternoon. He's been immaculate, but even the best of players, the best of defenders can slip up, and sometimes it's to their cost, but from their point of view, they got away from it.
Deep into injury time, Jugovic. Rolling. Now Kripa to Di Chiara. Asprilla. Apolloni. Free header for Platt. Apolloni again. In goes Di Chiara. Evani scrapping with his opposite number, Asprilla. Amoruso, promising young striker who got his first goal last week in that win over Udinese. First goal, that is, for Sampdoria. And he's featured in a couple of other games too as a substitute and done well when he's come on. Showing his skills there to Apolloni, who was none too impressed. Evani with the free kick. Quickly can Parma spring forward here. Zola did well then to shake off the tackles. Asprilla, surely fouled then by Invernizzi. In the last few seconds, are we in for a dramatic finale? Zola will hope so. Here's Zola with the kick. He bent it in! Magnificent goal by Zola, right at the finish. And surely now he has won this game for Parma. A goal to savour from Zola. And Parma, well, not unsurprisingly, can hardly contain their elation.
What an incredible goal. He's meant to. He knows what he's doing as soon as he is addressing the ball. He's put it in that top corner, goalkeeper couldn't get near it. And not only is it a great goal, what looks like to win the game, but it's a great goal to actually put Parma in a position that they can still attack Milan for this championship. And that's how fine the dividing line has been. There the whistle goes.
Well, an astonishing finish. And a goal that you will go a long, long way to see bettered, surely, by Zola. The goal in the 93rd minute to win this game for Parma, who've come from behind after Sampdoria had gone ahead in the first half. And for coach Nevio Scala, well, their patience has paid off. Well, here was the first goal of the game, scored by Jugovic. Great 1-2 there with Lombardo, Joe.
It was a fantastic goal, and I'm glad to see that Lombardo was involved in it, because most things that he did today, Sampdoria, he was involved in it. A marvellous finish, great composure, picked his spot. He hasn't given the goalkeeper any chance at all, Jugovic.
Well, now the equaliser for Parma.
Yes, Mele, and we want to between Mele and Broner is broken up, and there we have Spila, looks up, knows that Minotti's coming into the back post, and as I said earlier, just like a centre forward, volleys that into the roof of the net and puts Parma right back into the game, and deservedly so. As I did describe, I thought that Sampdoria were going to gain a point with their grit and determination, but the pressure that was put on by Parma resulted in getting a free kick here. And here we have Zola. With the ratio he has, of the attempts he has on goal, it's no coincidence, and he's won the game. I think he was a very important player in many ways, but I think the winning goal could go to no one more deserved than him.
Well, a breathtaking finale. The Parma players milking the applause now, their fans, as I return you to Don Howe and James Richardson. James?
Well, an afternoon of high emotion here in Parma. Don Howe with me. Your final comments on the game. 3 magnificent goals, and I don't think anyone can deny that Parma really deserved that win.
That's right. I mean, in their second half performance, they deserved to win, Parma, without a doubt. I mean, the first goal, what he did, Asparilla, he started to work the flanks. He started to run behind the fullbacks. For the first goal, he's got down that right wing. Brolin got the ball to him. He got across to the back post. Minotti came in, a defender, and a super volley. Then he made another chance where he'd come down this left flank, pulled it across, and Serena got it off the goal line. Then we've had these in-swinging free kicks from Zola. And for some unknown reason, and I don't know why, in his bad tactics, it was a great free kick from Zola, but the defenders kept backing in on their goalkeeper, Pagliuca. I mean, in the end, they're only a yard off him. He wouldn't even see the ball as he came in, Pagliuca. That's just bad play.
Okay, well, at least we've got a winner from the game, somebody to challenge Milan in the last 12 games of the season. Let's go back now to see how they did against Cremonese with Peter Brackley.
Well, they've won by 1-0. The other scores: Atalanta 1, Roma 1, Genoa 1, Torino 0. A big win there for Juventus, 5-1 at home to Lecce. Lazio 4, Cagliari 0. Milan 1-0 against Cremonese. Piacenza 2, Inter 1. Udinese have beaten Napoli by 3-1. The match being played tonight is Foggia against Reggiana. You can see that on Tuesday in Mezzanotte. That's the top of the table then. Milan 5 points clear at the top of Juventus. Parma now joining Juve on 31 points. Silenzi, Fonseca and Sosa, Baggio, Signori and Branca all on 13 points at the top of the goal scorers. Mezzanotte on Tuesday night features Foggia against Reggiana, and of course Gaza on Saturday, Gazzetta Football Italia. On Sunday, Lazio against Milan. From Joe Jordan and myself, goodbye.
Shoplifters in Britain steal over £2 billion in goods every year. It's not petty crime. Thieves can earn thousands of pounds a week.
About between 1,000 and 1,300 on a good day.
What measures